Thank you all for joining today. Apologies for the late start here. We're going to have a number of speakers make some remarks today about the recent hate crimes data that's come out. I'll make some introductory remarks, then at the end we'll be able to open it up for some questions. Rob Bonta, California Attorney General, good morning, and thanks for joining us today. We are here to talk about the release of the 2022 California Hate Crime Data Report. And I first want to acknowledge everyone who will be speaking today. We have Robert Salcedo, Executive Director of Community Build, Rabbi Ken Chasen, Senior Rabbi at Leo Beck Temple, Sunitha Menon, Managing Director of Operations, Equality California, Richard Hershout, Director, American Jewish Committee, LA, Gloria Cruz, Policy Director at CHIRLA, Hussam Alouche, CEO, California Chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations, CARE California. We have Paul Estuar, Litigation Director, Asian Americans Advancing Justice, Southern California, and Umar Hakim Day, Board Chair, LA Voice. And I know it's a lot of speakers, deliberately and intentionally so. Folks representing all of our communities, fighting for them, standing up for them, and today, fighting together, standing together as we confront the statistics and the real impacts on real people and communities that we are about to talk about today. So thank you for joining. I also want to thank the members of my team who've worked on this report and on our ongoing efforts to address hate crimes, the Civil Rights Enforcement Section in the DOJ, the California Justice Information Services Division, which provides and analyzes and presents our data, the Racial Justice Bureau, the Criminal Law Division, including our Hate Crimes Coordinator, and the Division of Law Enforcement. In the past several years, we've witnessed national rhetoric get more heated, more polarizing, more divisive, more extreme. And while we like to think that California would be and should be the exception, hate, unfortunately, it has no borders. Even California is not immune. Hate-fueled rhetoric fills our social media feeds and dominates the news cycles. It infiltrates our schools and our community gatherings. It seems to be in so many places, so pervasive. From national political leaders to sometimes our own neighbors, racist, xenophobic, homophobic, destructive language is being brandished about all too freely to alienate, discriminate, and inflict lasting physical and emotional harm. As the vitriol spreads, so does hate. We've seen that to be true year after year. Not that long ago, my mom, a quick personal story, asked me if she should take a ride service into the city. She was asking me, but I know what she was telling me. She was telling me she didn't feel comfortable, given all of the hate incidents that we had seen, many that had gone viral. And I agreed. I told her, I don't feel comfortable, Mom, I'll take you. And that's just a small example of a personal interaction between family and loved ones that has happened thousands and thousands of times all across this country as hate has risen and anxiety has gone up and hate crimes have gone up as well. In our state and across the nation, extremists sow the seeds of distrust and division to dismantle our sense of community, of safety, of belonging. The 2022 California Hate Crime Data Report shows us statistically what we already know, what we who work in our communities know to be true from our lived experience, that hate crimes are up. We feel this reality in our communities across California. From 2021 to 2022, overall hate crimes events increased 20.2%, jumping from 1,763 events to 2,120 overall events. And before I get into specifics, I want to recognize that reporting a hate crime is not always easy and isn't something everyone feels safe or comfortable doing. So in all likelihood, these statistics represent underreporting, that there's more there that we haven't, that hasn't been shared with us, hasn't been reported, does not show up in the numbers. These numbers only tell part of the story. There are an unknown number of other cases, not just statistics, but of people being hurt, being attacked, that we don't know about, and maybe we never will. What we do know, based on the data we do have, is that our diverse communities continue to face incredible pain and hardship. Crimes motivated by sexual orientation increased 29%. In particular, anti-transgender events increased from 38 in 2021 to 59 in 2022, a huge jump. Anti-black hate rose 27.1%, with 652 total crimes last year. Anti-Hispanic crimes rose from 197 in 2021 to 210 in 2022. Religious-based hate crimes are up as well, with anti-Semitic hate crimes increasing the most at 24.3%. And while anti-Asian hate events fell from last year, between 2022 and 2021, there were still 140 reports last year, and we are still at all-time highs post-pandemic for anti-Asian hate crimes. So I won't lie and I won't sugarcoat it. These are not the numbers that we wanted to see. We were hoping for better numbers, and but the numbers are the numbers, and we take on the issues as we find them, and we would confront them as we must. And at DOJ, we don't shy away from the truth. We let the truth and the facts dictate where we go next. We examine the truth, we learn from it, and we use it to guide our way forward. This report affirms that we need to continue the work to take on hate crimes in California, and that's across the board, certainly at the California Department of Justice, but in our communities with our community advocates, community-based organizations leading the way. From the hate crime roundtables we've held in the big cities across the state, in San Diego and San Francisco, Oakland, Sacramento, Riverside, Long Beach, Santa Ana, San Jose, Stockton, Anaheim, most recently in Bakersfield, we've been in circles and at tables with city leaders taking on hate crimes, identifying what works, what the challenges are, how we can scale those solutions, and how we move forward together. Each of those roundtables provided us an invaluable opportunity to listen, to learn, to engage in dialogue with one another in meaningful and productive conversations, and importantly, in collaboration. To the ongoing commitment of our Racial Justice Bureau, which continues to take on racial injustice in all its forms. We've also been working with our community outreach, webinars, and presentations hosted by our Community Awareness, Response, and Engagement Team, or CARE. We've also been working in efforts led by our Hate Crimes Coordinator to assist state and local law enforcement efforts across the state and to be a glue connecting the different efforts in different places across our state to address hate crimes. We've also issued guidance, including urging prosecutors across the state to establish specialized hate crime units to work with and support impacted communities and to help victims heal. Today, our work continues with the release of a new law enforcement bulletin for all district attorneys, chiefs of police, sheriffs, and state law enforcement agencies. It contains updated information about multiple criminal laws related to hate crimes and guidance on how to investigate and prosecute these hate crimes. We too often see what the community knows to be a hate crime not investigated as a hate crime, not eventually identified or prosecuted as a hate crime. I also want to take this opportunity to urge victims and witnesses of hate crimes to come forward, to report what you experience or what you see, to report any incidents. Even if you're not sure if it's a hate crime, that's not your obligation or burden. Report it, and law enforcement can take over from there to determine the rest. Go to your local law enforcement, seek medical assistance, write down what happened, including, very importantly, what was said. That could be a key piece of evidence in developing and presenting a hate crime. If you can do so safely, save all evidence and take photos. Reach out to community organizations in your area that deal with hate crimes. They can provide support and guidance and direction as well. What we don't know about, we can't respond to, so it's important to share and inform CBOs and law enforcement about hate crimes and hate incidents as you experience them and as you see them. Bringing this insidious problem out of the shadows is the only way we'll be able to eradicate it. As U.S. Supreme Court Justice Louis Brandeis once said, sunlight is the best disinfectant. So let's bring the hate crimes and the acts of hate out into the sunlight. The facts brought to light in this report only fuel our work and underscore how critical our efforts are. We are doubling down, recommitted, as committed and passionate as ever to address hate crimes and hate incidents. How imperative it is that we all work together, from the state to local governments, law enforcement to community organizations, people from all backgrounds and every faith. Hate is not new. And fortunately, neither is rallying together in solidarity, supporting one another to address it and to confront it and to fight it. And that's what we're here today to talk about and to show with our action and with our taking up this shared space together. At DOJ, we're determined to keep our foot on the gas, determined to tackle hate, combat crime, and protect public safety, support our communities, to move forward justice at full speed, because that's the only speed I know. So we're going to stay at it. I'm grateful for every single one of our partners across the state who are moving forward with us. We need you. We need each other. And for my team at DOJ, who are relentless in their desire to create change and a more inclusive community, more inclusive state. We can and we will. Because hate against any one of us is hate against all of us. We're all in this together. We will rise together or not at all. And that's not something we can ever stand for, hate against any of us. So now I'd like to turn it over to Robert Salcedo, Executive Director of Community Build, with my great thanks, and I'll come back at the end to answer any questions you might have. Thank you. Thank you,
Robert. Good morning.
Morning.
First they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came out for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I wasn't a socialist. Then they came out for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I wasn't a Jew. And then they came for me, and there was no one to speak out for me. These are the words of Pastor Martin Niemöller during the Nazi regime. The point here is, it's always someone else until it's not. My name is Robert Salcedo. I want to thank the AG for hosting this press conference, a very important press conference that we should all be paying very close attention to. As Californians, when we stretch out our arms, we find our hands in communities of our diverse neighbors and cultures. When we consider the hate crimes are on the rise, and specifically an increase in hate crimes toward African Americans increasing by 27.1%, we must recognize that it is time for someone to speak up. Our Attorney General. It is time for all of us to step up.